Live streaming is on.
Welcome to the UFAHL Draft, the UFAHL Draft, the inaugural UFAHL season is coming up, and we're here to draft the rosters for the 31 franchises in the UFAHL, which is a revolutionary AHL fantasy league, never been done before. We're essentially drafting farm teams for the affiliate UFAHL franchises in our NHL league. So it's an exciting day for both the UFAHL as well as the UFAHL, with the two leagues intertwined much the same as the actual NHL and AHL. So we have upwards of 20 franchises present today that'll be drafting live here on a Jitsi video conference through the live stream on YouTube, as well as the other 10 or so will be drafting through Telegram or auto drafting. But we won't waste too much time off the start. We'll get right into it and we'll turn it over. You'll be able to see I'll mirror my screen now so everybody can follow the results. And we will get the draft going with the Desperados, which are the farm team or the UFAHL affiliate for the Outlaws franchise in the UFAHL, and the Outlaws general manager, Nick Utley, is on the clock with the Desperados. So Nick, the floor is yours. Nick, just make sure you unmute your mic when you make your selection. Oh, sorry, Nick, I think you're on mute. Oh, I know Nick is here, or he was here. Let's see here. Oh, he just texted me. I can announce the pick on behalf of Nick so that we can keep her going. The Desperados are pleased to select with the first overall pick in the UFAHL draft, Logan Stanley of the Winnipeg Jets / Manitoba Moose. First round NHL draft pick, one of the few that are still available or made it to this point in the open market. So Nick Utley has snagged Logan Stanley first overall. Nick is just trying to get with us here yet, so I'm just making sure he's on. But next up will be the Thunderstorm. And the Thunderstorm is actually Jonathan Espinoza, who is based in Japan, and he is the affiliate of the Monarchs. And Corey Lazar is potentially drafting on behalf of the Monarchs. Corey, are you here? If not, we will move ahead with an auto draft. Okay, looks like Corey is not on the Jitsi meeting. I'll double check that he's not picked in Telegram. Okay. So Corey, we'll give him a minute here just in case he is picking on Telegram. But I know he had messaged last night that he would potentially be drafting on behalf of the Thunderstorm, which is going to be Jonathan Espinoza, as mentioned. One of our first international GMs for the UFAHL, a franchise based in Japan, which is kind of a cool storyline. But with no sign of Corey Lazar, I'll revert to the auto draft list, and the Thunderstorm will select with the second overall pick in the UFAHL draft, Andrew Agazzino, and Andrew Agazzino is from the San Diego Gulls / Anaheim Ducks, forward for the San Diego Gulls, Andrew Agazzino. So he'll go second overall, which takes us to Strong Island and Terry Weber. Terry, are you with us on the Jitsi call? And if so, you can announce your pick. If not, you're on the clock for Telegram. One sec here. Terry might have texted me. I promise we do have a good number of live drafters here. Some of these guys are either having trouble getting on the conference. Terry has texted me that he will be on auto pick. He has another commitment right now. So we'll go to the next pick down on auto pick, and Terry will get Andy Andreoff, forward from the Philadelphia Flyers / Lehigh Valley Phantoms of the AHL. So Andy Andreoff to Strong Island's yet to be named UFAHL affiliate. That takes us to the Stingrays, who are also auto drafting. That is Arlo Schultz's franchise, and he wanted to put a priority on defensemen. So we'll give him Mark Alt, defenseman from the Los Angeles Kings / Ontario Reign. Mark Alt to the Stingrays UFAHL affiliate, another affiliate that's yet to be named. As you'll notice, about half of the UFAHL franchises or the new UFAHL owners have named their affiliate franchises, but about half haven't, as we're still in the infancy of this league. So that takes us to 5th overall, and the Blades of Steel, which is owned by Mike Bender. And I have not heard from Mike yet. I will say that Nick Utley is here drafting on behalf of the Desperados. He's just having some technical difficulties on unmuting his mic. So shout out to Nick. He'll get the mic unmuted here soon. If you scroll over the actual screen, Nick, you'll see the camera and the mic in between, and you can just click on the mic. It'll unmute it. You can give a hello to make sure that you're here. And we're waiting on Mike Bender. Mike, are you on the chat? If not, we will continue with an auto draft. Okay. Sounds like Mike Bender is an auto drafter. He had not replied RSVP. Oh, we have
unmuted here, just to let you know.
All right. Congratulations on the first overall pick, Nick. Logan Stanley. That's nice to get a first-round pick at this point in the UFAHL draft, considering he was available on the open market for 4 months beforehand. So nice start for the Desperados.
We're happy to get him.
Good to hear. Good to hear you. Nice to meet you. So next up for the Blades of Steel, we have Nathan Bastian, a forward from the New Jersey Devils / Binghamton Devils. So Nathan Bastian is off the board at 5th overall, which takes us to the Mystics. That is Sean, and he's the GM, and Harold is the owner of the Mystics UFAHL franchise. Again, yet to be named franchise, and I believe they are auto drafting unless Sean or Harold are here on the Jitsi call. Okay, so for Sean and Harold, we will give them Patrick Brown, forward from the Vegas Golden Knights / Henderson Silver Knights, who actually made their AHL debut last night. The Henderson Silver Knights played their first ever AHL game. Vegas was sharing a farm team for their first couple years in the league while they built up their player pool to relocate and launch their own AHL franchise. And Henderson is a suburb of Vegas, so they're actually both in the same city, which is a cool tie-in there with the Henderson Silver Knights / Vegas Golden Knights. But Patrick Brown is off the board at 6th overall to the Mystics, which takes us to the Thunderbirds. And that is Alex LeBlanc. And I know Alex is here to announce the pick on behalf of the Thunderbirds. So Alex, the floor is yours at 7th overall for the Thunderbirds, who are the UFAHL affiliate for the Battlehawks in the UFHL.
Oh, it's getting unmuted.
Yeah, we can hear you, Alex. The floor is yours. Oh, sorry, Alex. You are muted still.
And I can't unmute. There we go.
We got you.
Hi, guys. Thanks, everybody, for welcoming me to the league. It's been a busy week. As GM of the Thunderbirds, we are happy to select at 7th overall, Jani Hankampa from Finland. I believe he's playing for St. Louis right now.
Jani Hakanpää. I think he's actually in Anaheim with the Anaheim Ducks / San Diego Gulls. Good size Finnish defenseman. Will be a good addition to the Thunderbirds, as well as potentially the protected list or even a call up to the active roster for the Battlehawks, which is how the UFAHL will work. There's a fee to promote players from your UFAHL affiliate to your UFHL protected list. But a lot of these players, especially the first rounders, we're going to see them making their way up to the UFHL in the years to come, just as you see AHL players graduating to the NHL. This is our developmental league in the UFAHL. That takes us to Red Army at 8th overall, which is Luke Grenier and Adam Stevens. They have also opted for an auto draft, and they will take Connor Bunnaman from the Philadelphia Flyers / Lehigh Valley Phantoms. So Connor Bunnaman is off the board at 8th overall. He's playing with Philadelphia right now and has had at least a point or two, so that worked out well for them with the BPA there. But nonetheless, Connor Bunnaman is off the board, and we're on to the Yetis, which is Colin Mills. I believe Colin is picking through Telegram, but he may be on the Jitsi call. Let me see here.
Yeah, I'm here, Larry. I just put it in the chat. We're gonna go Matt Tennyson.
Matt Tennyson of the New Jersey Devils, defenseman. I believe he's pairing with Ty Smith right now, the hot young prospect for New Jersey. So he's up with the Devils, but he's kind of been a career tweener, been down in the AHL a lot, but certainly
I think he's a captain.
Is he the captain? Yeah, at Binghamton?
No, he's one of the signature players, I believe. Larry, you should check that.
I got them in front of me here. Let's see. Franchise player, Matt Tennyson. He is not. Matt Tennyson is available. Matt Donovan was a franchise player. So yeah, Matt Donovan was actually a franchise player for the Yetis. So, and Matt Donovan is on loan right now in Sweden because his AHL franchise, Milwaukee, was one of the 3 that opted out of this season. So those players had to find somewhere else to play. So Matt Donovan actually is over in Sweden playing for HV71. And so Matt Tennyson, who's up with the New Jersey Devils, is selected by the Yetis there at 9th overall, which takes us to 10th overall and puts the UFAHL commissioner on the clock on the draft floor. Curtis Johnson, we turn it over to you.
All right, guys. First, I just want to thank everybody who's participating in this. It was a lot of work. Again, I just want to thank Jesse for helping out. The corporals would like to select Nicholas Camano with their first overall pick.
Nicholas Camano, also of the Dallas Stars / Texas Stars. Believe he's also up with Dallas right now. Kid who scored quite well in the OHL and has some good upside. So nice pick there for the Corporals. And that takes us to 11th overall with the Caymans, who is the UFAHL affiliate of the Gators. And I know Matt Gunn is going to announce his selection through Telegram. And he is typing, so we know he's following along. The Caymans have selected Phil DiGiuseppe. Hopefully I said that name right. It's a tough one, Phil DiGiuseppe, but he is he's playing with the New York Rangers. He started the year on a line with Philip Heidel and Capo Caco, and they were pretty productive. I think he's down with Julian Gauthier and Brett Howden at the moment, but certainly a guy who's a regular with the New York Rangers and a potential call-up for the Gators in the UFHL, which takes us to the Spitfires at 12th overall, and Andrea Karandek is drafting on behalf of Dale Hardy, and Andrea will also be announcing her selection in Telegram. The Spitfires have selected Nate Prosser, who scored a goal for the Philadelphia Flyers last night. Defenseman, spent a lot of time in Minnesota's system and now is on to Philly. And so another one of those players who are a potential call-up for the Grizzlies protected list as we go here. That takes us to the Shamrocks at 13th overall, which is, I believe, let me double check because we have 4 franchises in the UFHL or in the UFHL from Finland, and I sometimes get them confused, but the Shamrocks are Paul Easton. Paul, are you with us on the call? I know you're affiliate for the Ice Vikings in the UFAHL with the Shamrocks. If Paul's here, the floor is yours. Okay. I didn't hear from Paul prior to the draft, but Paul's usually very involved. So I'm guessing he may be picking on Telegram. We'll give him a minute here, or 30 seconds. If he doesn't pick, we'll proceed with an auto pick for the franchise, the Shamrocks. Okay, I don't see Paul in one of the guys here, so we will go with an auto draft for the Shamrocks, and the Shamrocks will take Michael Chaput of the Tucson Roadrunners, Arizona Coyotes. So Michael Chaput is off the board, forward for Tucson Roadrunners at 13th overall. And that takes us to the Bandits at 14th overall. The Bandits are going to be, Dan Tinsman is the owner of the Bandits, and they are affiliated with the Snipers. But Rob Love, who is Dan's good buddy and who also has a franchise in the UFHL, is here to draft on behalf of the Bandits. So, Rob, the floor is yours if you're on the call. If not, I know you're following along on Telegram.
Bandits choose Jamel Smith.
Jamal Smith. And where is Jamal Smith this season? I know he was previously in the Dallas organization, but I want to say maybe he's ended up in Tampa Bay or in the Tampa system, I believe.
Yeah, he's a taxi squad guy right now.
Right. Okay, perfect. So Jamal Smith is off the board. There we go. I've got him on my running BPA list for the auto drafters, but nice pick there. Jamal Smith, a guy with some good upside, kind of likely a bottom 6 forward, but an energy type player as well. That takes us to, one sec here, I got too many windows going. Okay, we got the Eliminators are up next, which is Luke Schonwise. I have not heard from Luke yet, so I'm assuming he's an auto drafter, but we'll give him a couple seconds here in case he is following on Telegram. Is anybody else having difficulty sending messages in the chat log? I've had a couple people say they are unable to type in their picks. No? Okay. So it looks like Luke Schonwise will be an auto drafter for the Eliminators. So we'll keep the draft rolling right along, and we'll give Luke Schonwise Paul Carey of the Providence Bruins / Boston Bruins. So Paul Carey, a forward for the Providence Bruins, is off the board. And that takes us to 16th overall, which will be the Mustangs, the UFAHL affiliate of the Stallions in the UFHL. And that's quite the theme they got going. They got the Stallions in the UFHL, the Mustangs in the UFAHL, and they have Horsepower Scouting as their scouting agency. So they got the horse theme going. Nevertheless, Ian Constable is the GM of both the Stallions and the Mustangs, and I believe Ian is here with us, so the floor is yours, Ian.
Perfect. I'm going to go off the board with defenseman Yegor Zamula of the Philadelphia Flyers, please.
Yegor Zamula. I believe he is scout owned.
Oh, is he? Because I've looked on the I've done find and replace, and I can't find him anywhere in here unless somebody's written him in with the name misspelled.
Let me double check on this.
I think he's on a protected list in Fantrax.
Oh, there you go. He's probably already on there. Let me double check. I know somebody has him. He should be a keeper for Rock Republic on the second tab here. So if we go over to this tab, Rock Republic is the Rapids.
Are they? How would it be spelled? Because I have the proper spelling YEGOR.
So his North American spelling is with an E.
Okay.
So
so
when
that's
the
why I
Russians
so
come over to North America,
am I able to change that if that's
yeah.
the case?
So we'll give you another pick here right now. But yeah, when the Russians come over to North America, they ditch their Y. So he's playing in the AHL. So he's Igor with an E there on the Rapids owned list. So you're still on the clock for the Mustangs.
Okay. Whoops. Now I'm seeing. I don't know which this took me to when I hit found and replace, but Justin Dowling, is he owned by anyone?
Nope, he's available,
Okay.
Justin Dowling.
Then I'm going to take Justin Dowling, please, forward from the Dallas Stars.
Perfect. So Justin Dowling, Dallas has a lot of these young forwards that are battling for sort of bottom six positions. We saw Nicholas Camano was picked earlier, Justin Dowling now, and Dallas is trying to find the right fit with their bottom six, and those guys are certainly factors at the NHL level and have been very productive AHLers if they end up down in the AHL. And one thing we're seeing a bit of a trend early on is a lot of people are taking those tweeners that are currently in the NHL. So for the UFHL franchises that are affiliated with the UFAHL, we could see a lot of promotions eventually, or certainly if they're in the NHL right now, they may want to get those fantasy points in their UFAHL active roster as soon as possible. So we could see some call-ups, but that takes us to 17th overall, and the Titans, their UFAHL franchise has yet to be named, and their owner, Jacob Cambridge, is drafting through Telegram. The Titans have selected Mason Marchment, former Leafs prospect, now with the Florida Panthers and in Florida's system. So Mason Marchment, forward, is off the board to the Titans at 17th overall. That takes us to 18th overall, which is the Warriors and Sean Cosgrove. Sean, are you with us on the Jitsi call? If so, the floor is yours. Sean normally attends the drafts, but it looks like we don't have Sean on the Jitsi meeting. He may have to work today. He does work weekends a lot. So on that assumption, I don't see anybody typing in the UFAHL chat group. So I assume he's not here. So we will go with Rourke Chartier, forward for the Toronto Marlies. Rourke Chartier, former Kelowna Rocket, had concussion issues when he was in San Jose's system, actually took last year off hockey, and he's making a comeback. Real good kid. I know his dad, Mark, really well and from when they were here in Kelowna. But yeah, Rourke Chartier of the Toronto Marlies, forward for the Toronto Marlies, making a comeback with the Warriors UFAHL franchise. That takes us to 19th overall with the Puck Pirates, who are also auto-drafting, which is Charisse Schultz. She probably would have loved Rourke Chartier because she's from Kelowna or has Kelowna ties, but she will take Zach Dolp of the Cleveland Monsters, Columbus Blue Jackets. Zach Dolp, former Penticton V, so also from this neck of the woods. He played his junior there. So Zach Dolp to the Puck Pirates. And that'll take us to the Noblemen, which is Arnie Entz. I believe Arnie is also auto-drafting, so we'll keep her going with the auto-drafters. And Arnie Entz will take Stephen Fogarty of the Rochester Americans. And Stephen Fogarty, also a former Penticton V. I don't know, I think he came into Penticton after Zach Dalp was already gone, but 2 former Penticton Bees back-to-back following a Kelowna Rocket, which takes us to West Coast Express and Aaron Bell and Brandon Kohinski. And I'm not sure if, or sorry, I take that back. That's Jordan Shedletsky is the GM of the UFAHL affiliate, or he owns the UFAHL affiliate for West Coast Express. It's yet to be named. I believe Jordan's here with us, and Jordan may be announcing a franchise name here momentarily. But Jordan, the floor is yours to draft on behalf of the UFAHL affiliate for West Coast Express. Jordan was here, I know. I'm just going through to make sure we know who's all here. Yeah, Jordan is here. So Jordan, you're on the clock and you can unmute yourself and you'll be good to go.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Okay, sorry, just was talking and apparently mic issues. Yeah, first of all, going to announce that going forward, team name is going to be the Minotaurs. But for the purpose of the draft, we'll leave it with the West Coast so we don't mess up the spreadsheets. And with the first pick for the team, I'm happy to announce Barbie Nardella.
Sorry, you broke up just when you said his name.
Bobby Nardella, I put in the chat as well.
Yeah, Bobby Nardella, defenseman, believe he's in the Washington Hershey system. So Bobby Nardella is off the board to the Minotaurs, we're going to go with West Coast for this draft, but nice introduction to a franchise name. Good to hear another live drafter, which takes us to Dawn Patrol, which is Brian Hernandez and Xavier Smith. I believe Brian is also with us. If not, I believe he's drafting on Telegram. Brian, if you're here, the floor is yours. Brian, just make sure your mic is unmuted. Brian is here. He's on the Jitsi call. Perhaps he stepped away. His mic is still muted as of now. Okay, he's announced his pick on Telegram. Brian Hernandez and the Dawn Patrol UFAHL franchise have selected Tommy Novak and a good question is where Tommy Novak's playing, because he's a Nashville prospect and he would be in Milwaukee, but Milwaukee's one of those franchises that are trying to find a new UFAH or new AHL affiliate through this. But nonetheless, Tommy Novak is off the board. And that takes us to the Schooners, who is Jessica Stuckey, and she is an auto drafter. She is the UFAHL affiliate for, let me get this right, because again, the Newfoundland franchises are tripping me up because there's a number of them. And Jessica is for the Blizzard. So this is Jessica drafting for the Schooners, who are affiliated with the Blizzard, and she will take Nathan Gerby of the Columbus Blue Jackets / Cleveland Monsters. So Nathan Gerby is off the board. And that takes us to the Mighty Mallards. And George, I want to say Batchel, but George is the GM for the Mighty Mallards, assistant GM for Duckman's Domination in the UFHL, and I believe George is here with us. So George, the floor is yours.
Larry, I just wanted to congratulate you for pronouncing my last name correctly. The Mallards will select Ryan Lomberg.
Ryan Lomberg, forward for the Florida Panthers, formerly in the Calgary Flames organization for a number of years. Feisty forward, working his way up the ranks. So Ryan Lomberg is off the board. And that takes us to, next up is the Enforcers. And I know Paul's here too. So some of our live drafters have had to wait a little while, but The Enforcers they got a cool theme going as well with the right from the top down. They have the Godfathers in the UFHL, the Enforcers in the UFAHL, and they have the Wise Guys scouting agency. So it's great to have them in the fold. We have Paul, Nelson, and Rob, but I believe Paul is the GM for the Enforcers and is drafting on behalf of them. So Paul, the floor is yours.
Thank you. On behalf of the Enforcers, we select defenseman Nicholas Milosh.
Nicholas Milosh of the San Jose Sharks. Defenseman working his way up in the San Jose Barracuda, San Jose Sharks system. So Nicholas Milosh is off the board. And that takes us to the Dust Devils, which is Rob Love. And Rob, I'm not sure if that franchise name has been confirmed, but UFAHL affiliate for the Tornadoes. And Rob, again, has done great work with us since joining the fold. He's also with Fanalytica and Elite Prospects. He works for Elite Prospects as his full-time job, but we're happy to have you in the fold, Rob, and you get to make your first ever pick as the UFAHL franchise owner for the Dust Devils.
Yep. One moment.
Oh, sorry, Rob, you cut out.
I just said one moment.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no rush.
So I'm gonna pick Joseph Garefa.
Joseph Graffa. And where is he at these days? Do you know, or where is he playing?
Played with Marco Rossi last year. He's 21. Now he plays, I believe, with San Jose's ECHL / AHL squad.
Right, he was a free agent signing there. They got a couple good ones out of overagers from junior moving up, so that's a nice pick. Put up big numbers in the OHL with the Ottawa 67s. That takes us to the Glacier Cats, who are this will be Cameron Turner drafting on behalf of co-commissioner Brent Baldwin. Brent's unable to join us this weekend. This is the UFAHL affiliate for the North Stars in the UFHL, and Cameron oversees the North Stars with Brent as an assistant GM, and at this level, Brent is the GM and Cameron's the assistant. But Cameron, if you're on the Jitsi call, the floor is yours for the Glacier Cats. He may be picking on Telegram. Okay, doesn't look like he's here. So the Glacier Cats will be selecting Danny O'Regan from the Henderson Silver Knights, Vegas Golden Knights forward. Danny O'Regan is off the board. And that takes us, Danny O'Regan to the Glacier Cats, which takes us to the Black Widows, and Chris Jacobine is with us. Sorry for the long wait, Chris, but good to have you in the fold, and you're on the clock with the Black Widows at 28th overall to make your first pick as the UFAHL affiliate of Elite Assassins.
Yep, that's all right. I just want to say thanks to all you guys for all the work you've done putting this together. This is very exciting stuff. With the Black Widows' first pick in the inaugural UFHL draft, we would take Sheldon Dries.
Sheldon Dries. He's a forward who's been in Colorado's system. Is he still in Colorado with the Eagles? Do you know?
I believe he's on the taxi squad right now.
Taxi squad? Okay, perfect. Right on. Right on. So we'll let Nathan get that pick entered. Or the last two picks entered, and then we'll carry on with the Rapids, who are auto drafting. That's one of our auto draft franchises. So the last two picks were Danny O'Regan and Sheldon Dries.
Thanks, Larry.
Is Danny O'Regan not in the list, or are we?
Oh, I had to run to the washroom. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. So yeah, we'll you got those two picks then. Hey, Danny O'Regan and Sheldon Dries.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, we'll continue with the Rapids, and the Rapids, as mentioned, are auto drafting, so they're going to select Laurent Dauphin of the Laval Rockets. So Laurent Dauphin is off the board, a forward for the Laval Rockets / Montreal Canadiens if he were to be called up. And that takes us to the Samurai, which is Donnie Talks, recently rebranded Kamikaze in the UFHL. The Samurai will be the UFAHL affiliate for the Kamikaze. I don't know if Donnie is with us. I believe he is auto drafting. I know he messaged me and I just forgot which one he is here. Let's see if he might be on Telegram too. Again, with the guys drafting on Telegram, if you're listening along or following along, be ready to pick when it's your turn because we're not going to wait too long. We want to make this a timely draft. So if we don't see you typing in the Telegram group within a couple seconds after the pick, unless we know you're following and you've already picked in Telegram, for this first round, we will announce a pick on your behalf and again, keep the draft rolling. So I don't see Donnie here on the Jitsi meeting. So we will assume that Donnie is auto drafting. And we will give Donnie Anthony Greco of the Hartford Wolfpack, another forward. Anthony Greco of the Hartford Wolfpack, who was, I believe, the fastest skater at the AHL All-Star game in recent years. He may even have been right up there with Connor McDavid, but he doesn't have the hands that Connor McDavid has to perform at that speed, but certainly a speedy AHLer. Anthony Greco is off the board, and that takes us to last but not least in the first round with the first ever pick for the Truculent Owls, the UFAHL affiliate of the Brute. That is Jesse Gill. And Jesse, before we put you on the clock, sorry to pause you, we have Danny O'Regan was the Glacier Cats pick at 27th overall. Mason was just looking for a clarification. It's forward Danny O'Regan.
Got it. Yep. Thanks, Larry.
Yeah, you're welcome. So without further delay, Jesse, you're now on the clock at the 31st overall pick to close out the first round.
Yeah, the Truculent Owls are happy to select Rhett Gardner of the Dallas Stars.
So there's another one of those Dallas forwards that are battling it out in the bottom six for Dallas. There's a handful of them right now that are sort of in and out from the taxi squad, but Rhett Gardner certainly I believe he played at the University of North Dakota and had a good college career there. So a guy who's worked his way up the ranks and could certainly make an impact in Dallas. There's opportunity there, and if not, he'll be a real solid AHL player at the AHL level. Now that we're into the second round, guys, we'll try and speed this up a little bit because I see we've taken 45 minutes for the first round, and we got up to 25 rounds, so we don't want to be here all day. So I'll scale back the commentary, and we can just sort of follow along. I'll say who's on the clock. You can make your pick, or I'll announce the auto pick, and we'll keep her going. So back to the top of the order with the Desperados is Nick Utley.
We'll select Joel Kellman.
Joel Kellman of the San Jose Sharks, San Jose Barracuda. Nice pick there. That takes us to the Thunderstorm, who are auto picking. So they will take, let's see, where am I at here? They can take, we'll give them an old boy. We'll give them Andrew Ladd, big contract guy, but playing for the Bridgeport Sound Tigers, kind of a guy who had an illustrious career and ended up in the AHL after some injuries. But Andrew Ladd to the Thunderstorm, which takes us to Strong Island, another auto drafter. So we'll rapid fire these guys. And Strong Island will take Shane Gersich from the Hershey Bears, Washington Capitals forward. Which takes us to the Stingrays, again, another auto drafting franchise. And we will give the Stingrays Boo Nieves, or I believe his first name is Cristobal, but he goes by Boo. I believe that's his official name, is Boo Nieves of the Tampa Bay Lightning Syracuse Crunch. So Boo Nieves is off the board. Blades of Steel, another auto drafter, is Mike Bender, and we'll give him another one of the old boys with Matt Molson of the Hershey Bears, another guy who had a good NHL career before ending up down in the minors. But Matt Molson has been one of the higher scoring AHLers, so at the UFAHL level, certainly he'll be an impact player. That takes us to the Mystics, a gain and auto drafter. And we'll stick with this kind of NHL tweener forward trend, and we'll go with Jason Mania. Jason with the Jayson spelling, but Jason Mania of the Colorado Eagles. And just like that, Alex LeBlanc and the Thunderbirds are back on the clock. So that was quick. You're back up, Alex.
Well, we ran through some picks quick there. I believe the Thunderbirds will be happy to select from the Calgary Flames, Buddy Robinson.
Buddy Robinson, Calgary Flames, Stockton Heat, big power forward. Johnny Gaudreau's good buddies, so he might end up carving out a role in Calgary, but certainly a guy who's close friends with Johnny Gaudreau. Red Army, which is another auto drafter, and Red Army will take Matthew Pekka of the Ottawa Senators, Belleville Senators. Matthew Pekka to the Red Army. Which takes us to the Yetis, and Colin Mills is back on the clock as GM of the Yetis, yet to be named UFAHL affiliate. Although they may have a name in the works, I may have just not announced it.
We're going to go with Joel Hanley.
Joel Hanley, defenseman for the Dallas Stars, is off the board. And Joel Hanley had a pretty good impact in the playoffs last season. Almost a bit surprising to not see him in the lineup to start this season with how good he played last year in the playoffs. But nevertheless, we're back to the commissioner and Curtis Johnson. The Corporals are on the clock.
We'll take D-man Mitch Reinke.
Mitch Reinke of the St. Louis Blues, guy who really took off as a pro. He wasn't a big name coming into pro hockey, but he put up a lot of numbers as a first couple of years pro and made a name for himself. That takes us to the Caymans. We have a couple Telegram picks in a row here with the Caymans, who is Matt Gunn, followed by the Spitfires, who is Andrea Karandek. So we'll turn it over to Telegram. And they should be following along here. I know they picked in the first round on Telegram, so I'm hoping they see the message I just sent out and pick here within the next 30 seconds. I've alerted Matt, so hopefully he sees it soon here. If not, we will go. Matt will take, he texted me, he'll take Will Lockwood, forward prospect for the Vancouver Canucks. So Will Lockwood is off the board, which takes us to Andrea Karandek, who is drafting on Telegram on behalf of Dale Hardy and the Spitfires. And Andrea is the GM of the Grizzlies in the UFHL, who is the affiliate for the Spitfires. So they're working together. And she has selected Frederick Allard, defenseman in the Nashville Predators system. So Frederick Allard to the Spitfires. Which takes us to the Shamrocks, which again was Paul Easton, and I don't believe Paul is here, so he will be an auto pick. So Frederick Allard to the Spitfires, and then we will go.
Is that off the board, Larry? I don't see it on the list there.
Let me double check that he's not scout owned, just in case. We got a minute here. Not on a protected list. It looks like he's available. Frederick Allard. So he is off the board, but a good pick nonetheless. He's one of the top D prospects in the system there for the Nashville Predators, who do a good job developing D. He played in the AHL last season, so he's certainly eligible. And so the Shamrocks will select. Where are we here? They will take Kevin Roy from the Tucson Roadrunners. So Kevin Roy used to be in the Anaheim Ducks system, now in the Tucson Roadrunners. So that takes us to the Bandits and Rob Love on behalf of Dan Tinson. Rob, you're back up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Okay. So Bandits are going to take. What's the deal? Make sure this guy's not taken. Luke Johnson from the Wild.
Luke Johnson is available. So Luke Johnson forward in Minnesota is off the board, which takes us to the Eliminators, who are an auto pick. They will stay with the Wild and take Kyle Rau, or Kyle R-A-U. Kyle Rau, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Which then will put on the clock, on the floor, Ian Constable with the Mustangs.
The Mustangs will take Ivan Lodnia.
Ivan Lodnia, another Minnesota player, 3 in a row. 3 in a row out of Minnesota. That's kind of cool. Ivan Lodnia, a very talented junior player, and we'll see what kind of noise he can make as a pro. Jacob Cambridge is also going auto draft now. So Jacob Cambridge can take Sheldon Rempel of the Chicago Wolves. Forward who has played well in Los Angeles system, now with the Chicago Wolves. The Warriors are an auto draft, and they will take Danik Martel of the Binghamton Devils. Moving over from the Tampa system, where Tampa's produced a lot of those smallish forwards that were sort of undrafted, unheralded, but Danik Martel being one of them now in Binghamton and New Jersey system. Puck Pirates are also an auto drafter, and they will take Tyrell Goulbourne of the Vegas Golden Knights, Henderson Silver Knights. That's Truth Schultz. She loves her former Rockets, so we'll give her Tyrell Goulbourne. Which takes us to the Noblemen and Arnie Entz, also auto drafting. And Arnie will take, what do we got here? Arnie can take Andrew Poturalski of the San Diego Gulls, Anaheim Ducks. Andrew Poturalski, a guy who actually led the AHL in scoring a couple of years ago when he was in Carolina's system, but now in Anaheim. Andrew Poturalski. And that takes us to Jordan Shedletsky of the Mintours / West Coast Express. Jordan, you're back on the floor.
Awesome, thank you. So with this pick, we would like to take Jonathan Davidson.
Jonathan Davidson from the Ottawa Senators, or Binghamton, or I guess Belleville Senators. Used to be the Binghamton Senators, but now Belleville. Jonathan Davidson is the pick there at 52 overall, which will take us back to Telegram. for Brian Hernandez. Brian may be with us on Jitsi as well, but he picked his first round pick in Telegram for Dawn Patrol. He's typing, so we know he's following along. Good to see Brian. He's taking Philippe Maillet, I believe, of the Hershey Bears in Washington's system. So Philippe Maillet is off the board to Dawn Patrol, which takes us to the Schooners, who are auto-drafting. And the Schooners will take Frederick Gaudreau of the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins in Pittsburgh system. So Frederick Gaudreau is off the board, which takes us back to George and the Mighty Mallards. George, you're up.
Just 1 second.
Yeah, no rush, George.
I just wanted to make sure I pronounced it correctly. We'll select Juno Luoto.
Juno Luoto of Finland. He might miss Patrick Laine there in Winnipeg, but he played a good number of games last season with the Winnipeg Jets as well as the Manitoba Moose. So forward Juno Luota is off the board to the Mighty Mallards.
Can you spell that right?
Yeah. Let me just. It is Joona and then Luo. Yeah. You're welcome. Of course, Nathan's doing all the hard work behind the scenes, getting all these picks entered and getting the rosters updated as we go. So we'll try to give a little bit of a window for Nathan to do his magic as well. Nonetheless, this puts Paul and the Enforcers back on the clock. Paul, you're on the floor.
Enforcers select Jonathan Asperot, the Senators.
Jonathan Asperot from the Ottawa Senators is off the board. So I believe he's a forward who plays a bit of defense, but Jonathan Asperot.
Can we put him at D?
Let's see. Whatever Elite Prospects has him as, or whatever the Senators franchise has him as, is what we would go with. I think he's one of
D and left wing.
Yeah, Elite Prospect has him as both. So
okay, whatever you want him as, we'll put him in that hole for you for this draft purpose.
Defense, please.
Defense, okay, sounds good.
Can you type his name in the chat, please?
And then Rob, you will be up next with the Dust Devils.
Okay, one moment.
No rush.
Okay, am I here? Hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Just one
Devils
second
pick.
before you make that pick. Is that an off the board pick, Jonathan Aspero?
It may be.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got to put an OB beside it. No.
Sorry about that. So yeah, Jonathan Asperot off the board for Enforcers, which will put Dust Devils on the clock with Rob Love. You're up, Rob.
Okay. With this pick, the Devils will take James Hamblin from the Medicine Hat Tigers, who is an overager who is now playing for the Oilers AHL team, Condors.
For the Condors, yeah. James Hamblin, a high-scoring player for the Medicine Hat Tigers, exciting junior, and now worked his way up to the AHL. It'll be interesting to see how he does at that level. That takes us to the Glacier Cats, which would be Cameron Turner. But again, Cameron wasn't here for the first round, so I assume he's auto-drafting on behalf of the commissioner, or the co-commissioner. So we have, where are we here? We'll take, this is a tough one to say, Kevin Kuzman, I believe is how it's said, but his last name is spelled C-Z-U-C-Z-M-A-N, Kevin Kuzman of the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins, who Brent Baldwin, our co-commissioner, he covers Wilkes-Barre as his team. So I'm sure he'll be happy to have one of the baby Penguins playing for his franchise in the UFAHL, the Glacier Cats, which takes us back to the Black Widows. And Chris Jacobine, you're back on the floor.
Okay, one moment. The Black Widows will select Blaine Byron.
Sorry, Blaine Byron?
Yeah, Blaine Byron.
Blaine Byron to the Black Widows. Sounds good. I'm just trying to check where he is here. There we go. We got him. Okay, and that takes us to the Rapids. And the Rapids will take, as an auto drafter, Matt Bartkowski of the Iowa Wild, or of the Minnesota Wild. Another guy who's played some NHL hockey in his day, but Matt Bartkowski. Which takes us to the Samurai. And the Samurai, Donnie Talk's UFAHL affiliate for Kamikaze, they will take Chris Bygros, defenseman for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. So Chris Bygros is off the board. Which takes us to the last pick of the second round, and Jesse Gill with the Truculent Owls. Jesse, the floor is yours.
The Truculent Owls will pick defenseman Andreas Borgman with the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Andreas Borgman, a former Leaf for you, Jesse. I know you're a Leafs fan, so that's a name you're familiar with. Andreas Borgman is off the board. And that will take us back to the top of the order to start the third round. And Nick Utley with the Desperados, you're back on the clock, Nick.
Desperados will take from the Minnesota system Connor Dwyer.
Connor Dwyer, former WHL standout with the Everett Silvertips, guy who put up a lot of points in the WHL and now working his way up the pro ranks. So Connor Dwyer, forward for Minnesota. That takes us to the run of auto drafters here. So starting with the Thunderstorm, they will take Guillaume Brisebois of the Vancouver Canucks Utica Comets. Guillaume Brisebois, which is G-U-I for his first name. There we go. Strong Island will stick with defensemen. They'll take Gavin Bayreuther of the Cleveland Monsters, now in Columbus's system, formerly in Dallas. The Stingrays will take Jake Bischoff of the Vegas Golden Knights, Henderson Silver Knights, another defenseman.
There's two Jake Bischoff in the list, one with a C and one without.
Probably just a duplicate. Yeah, same player, yeah. The one with the C is the one we want, or that's how he spells his name. B-I-S and then C-H-O-F-F.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Blades of Steel, Mike Bender, they will select Kevin Connaughton of the Florida Panthers Syracuse Crunch. And the Mystics will select Brandon Davidson, now of the Buffalo Sabres Rochester Americans. Which takes us back to Alex and the Thunderbirds here in the third round. Alex, the floor is yours.
Hello?
Yeah, we got you.
Hey, there we go. With the 69th pick in the UFHL entry draft, we are proud to select from the Toronto Marlies, Justin Brazeau.
Justin Brazeau, big power forward who put up big numbers in junior and shockingly went undrafted multiple times. A guy that I personally had ranked and mocked a couple times, but he's the Leafs grabbed him. Red Army, they will select as an auto drafter. Red Army will select Taylor Fadoon of the Dallas Stars, Texas Stars. So Taylor Fadoon is off the board. And that takes us to Colin Mills with the Yetis. Colin, you're on the clock or on the board.
We'll go with Darren Radish.
Darren Radish, older brother of Taylor Radish in Tampa system, but Darren Radish is a defenseman. I believe he's still in the New York Ranger, or now in the New York Ranger system, formerly in Chicago. So Darren Radish is off the board, which puts the commissioner back on the floor, Curtis Johnson with the Corporals.
We will take D-man Will Riley.
Will Riley is going to the Corporals, defenseman Will Riley. There we go. Just trying to update my auto drafter list as we go here so I don't have repeat picks that everybody's already taken. We are back to Telegram with back-to-back picks for Matt and Andrea. And Matt did send me a short list of guys that he wants. Oh, he's already picked, so he's following along closely. He's taking Colton Poolman, younger brother of Tucker Poolman, the Winnipeg Jets defenseman. Colton Poolman was signed as a free agent by the Calgary Flames. So Colton Poolman, that puts every player in this draft. We're only
Live streaming is on.
We're only in round 3, and some of these guys are starting to trip me up a little bit already, trying to remember where they came from or who they are. But nonetheless, the Shamrocks are on the board, or on the clock, which is an auto draft. And we will give them, let's see here. I'm just working my way through this defense list. We'll go Aaron Ness of the Arizona Coyotes Tucson Roadrunners. So Aaron Ness is off the board to the Shamrocks, which puts the Bandits, Dan Tinsman with Rob Love drafting on behalf of the Bandits. Rob, you're back on the clock or on the floor?
Bandits would like to select Dmitry Sokolov from the Wild.
Another Minnesota forward, Dmitry Sokolov. There's a couple Sokolovs. Igor is already owned. He's the Ottawa Senators prospect. But Dmitry, another high-scoring junior guy. I don't even know if they're related, but Dmitry Sokolov of Minnesota is off the board, which takes us to the Eliminators. And the Eliminators will select Stephen Kampfer of the Boston Bruins, Providence Bruins. Stephen Kampfer, defenseman. Which takes us to the Muck.
Is he a forward/D kind of guy?
He plays defense. Yeah, he'll play D in the AHL or in the. Yeah, he's been a D man in recent years anyway. I think he is one of those guys that can play up, but he's primarily a defenseman. Mustangs, Stallions, Ian Constable. You're on the floor, Ian.
Mustangs will take Stepan Volkovsky.
Stepan Volkovsky. This one might be off the board. He's a defenseman who's playing in Europe, but has played in the AHL and the ECHL in the past. So Stepan Volkovsky, big
He's in the
year
KHL right now, yeah.
Yeah, back in the AHL, yeah.
Can you type that in
so
here,
that,
please? Can you just type that in the chat, Ian, for spelling?
You bet.
Yeah. And yeah. And then so the Titans, who is Jacob Cambridge, they are on auto draft. And they will take Nelson Nogier of the Winnipeg Jets, Manitoba Moose. Nelson Nogier. I believe he's been on Winnipeg's taxi squad to this point, which takes us to the Warriors, who I believe are another auto pick, unless Sean is now on the Telegram, but I don't think he is. Okay, so I don't see Sean typing yet. So they will take Gustav Olofsson of the Montreal Canadiens Laval Rocket. Gustav Olofsson for the Warriors UFAHL affiliate, which takes us to the Puck Pirates. And the Puck Pirates will select Zach Rinaldo of the Calgary Flames Stockton Heat. So after the Puck Pirates is the Noblemen, who's Arnie, who's also auto drafting. They will take Nathan Walker of the Utica Comets. Would be playing for St. Louis's farm team, but again, that's one of the AHL franchises that aren't running this year, so they're teaming up with Vancouver there in Utica. So Nathan Walker forward is off the board, which puts Jordan Shedletsky and Minotaurs / West Coast back on the clock.
Okay, from the Binningham Devils, we are happy to select Fabian Zetterlund.
Fabian Zetterlund, no relation to Henrik Zetterberg, but Fabian Zetterlund, one of those Swedish sort of mid to late round picks that has a nice upside. And that takes us to Don Patrol and Brian Hernandez, who has been picking on Telegram. So Brian should be picking momentarily. I believe Brian is on the Jitsi call, but has been entering his picks on Telegram. So he's following along. He is typing. Don Patrol has selected Ostap Safin. That may be an off-the-board pick, but he's an Oilers prospect playing in Bakersfield / Wichita. OSTAP, Safin. There we go. And
Can you
that
say
takes
what
us to the
position he is, Larry? Sorry.
He's a forward, yeah. He's a winger. And that takes us to the Schooners, who are auto-drafting. They will take Mika Salomaki of the Colorado Eagles. Mika is M2Is, 2Ks A, like Mika Kiprasov. But yeah, Mika Salomaki of the Colorado Eagles, a forward, which puts George and the Mighty Mallards back on the floor. George, you're up.
The Mallards select Anton Lindholm.
Anton Lindholm, defenseman. Believe he is in Chicago's system now. He is. Chicago, Rockford, formerly with Colorado. Anton Lindholm is off the board, which puts Paul and the Enforcers on the floor.
We're going off the board again, selecting forward Mikhail Maltsev, New Jersey.
Mikhail Maltsev of New Jersey. So, Paul, I'll just get you to type the name into the chat so Nathan knows the spelling. But Mikhail is off the board, which puts Rob Love and the Dust Devils on the clock.
AJ Greer.
AJ Greer, former Colorado Avalanche forward, had some games with Colorado, and I believe he moved, I want to say, to the Islanders, but where's he at now, Rob? Do you know? Nonetheless, he's a guy who's got some NHL experience for sure, AJ Greer.
He's still with the Islanders.
He's with the Islanders? Okay, yeah. And yeah, we'll get Mikhail Maltsev in there. That takes us to the Glacier Cats, which again is the commissioner who is unable to attend this weekend due to a family emergency. So we have for the Glacier Cats, will select Zach Trotman, defenseman for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. We'll give him back-to-back D from Wilkes-Barre. So Zach Trotman to the Glacier Cats, which puts Chris Jacobine and the Black Widows back on the clock.
Okay, just one moment, guys. Okay, the Black Widows will select Evan Weinger. I don't know how to pronounce that name for the San Jose.
Yeah, you got it. Evan Weinger, yeah. I believe he's in San Jose's system, came up through the Western Hockey League.
Yep, that's
Played
correct.
with the Portland Winterhawks when he was in the Western League. So that takes us to the Rapids, And the Rapids will select forward Brad Malone of the Bakersfield Condors. Which takes us to the Samurai, who are also auto drafting. And the Samurai will take, just checking to make sure. Some of these franchises that have lots of players, I just got to make sure their positions aren't filled already. Where are we with the Samurai? So they have 2D left. Quite a few forwards. Okay, so we're not at risk. We'll give them a forward since they need lots. We'll go with CJ Seuss of the Manitoba Moose. So CJ Seuss to the where are we here? CJ Seuss to the Samurai, which puts Jesse Gill and the Truculent Owls on the clock to close out the third round.
I'll pick a former WHLer who spent some time playing university hockey with the Golden Bears. Calgary Flames prospect Luke Philp.
Yeah, Luke Philp, high scoring, played for Kootenay Ice when it was still in Kootenay in the WHL. A really talented, high scoring junior player who, like I said, came up through U of A Golden Bears and has now turned pro and looked pretty good in his AHL rookie season last year. That will take us. Oh, sorry, we're just waiting for the Samurai pick. And that is CJ Seuss. Yes. Yeah, CJ.
Is he off the board?
He should have been there. He did play with Winnipeg Jets last year. His last name is spelled Suess. Maybe they did or didn't have the periods with his name, but Suess is
good to go. Sorry.
Starting the fourth round is Nick Utley and the Desperados.
We'll take Carl Dahlstrom of the Vegas system.
Carl Dahlstrom, formerly in the Chicago system, I believe, and in Winnipeg too for a time, but now in Vegas. A guy who's played a lot of pro games. That takes us to the run of auto drafters, which we'll bang these out pretty quick. So the Thunderstorm will take Mike Vecchione of the Colorado Eagles. These guys will all take forwards this round. So Mike Vecchione. To Strong Island will go Ben Street of the Binghamton Devils. The Stingrays texted me that they want defense, so we'll shift her back down to defense. We'll give them Alex Petrovic of the Calgary Flames Stockton Heat. And Blades of Steel can take Tanner Fritz of the Bridgeport Sound Tigers New York Islanders. Tanner Fritz. And then the Mystics, the last of this run of auto drafters, can take Scott Sabourin of the Toronto Marlies, formerly of the Ottawa Senators, now with the other side of the Battle of Ontario. He's with the Leafs system now, Scott Sabourin. Which takes us back to Alex and the Thunderbirds. Alex, you're on the clock.
With pick number 100, the Thunderbirds are happy to select from the Manitoba Moose, Christian Reichel.
Christian Reichel, former Red Deer Rebel. I believe that's a nephew, if not I don't think he's son of Robert Reichel, but definitely a relative of former NHLer Robert Reichel. That takes us to Red Army, and Red Army will select Thomas Hickey of the New York Islanders / Bridgeport Sound Tigers. And then Colin Mills and the Yetis are back on the clock.
We'll take Seth Griffith.
He's a franchise player. He belongs to, I should have that here, but he's definitely a franchise player. He was one of the higher priced franchise players.
Bandits own him as a franchise.
Okay, 1 minute then.
Yeah.
Is Cole Castles available then?
Cole Castles is available, yeah.
Okay, we'll take him.
Perfect. He was a real good shutdown guy in years past. When he was in Oshawa Generals at the Memorial Cup, he played a shutdown role and looked like he would have a big role coming up in the Canucks system, but has kind of bounced around a bit, but still a quality prospect. I believe that is Andrew Castle's son, for those who remember Andrew Castles as an NHL player. But that takes us to the Corporals and the Commissioner, Curtis Johnson.
Go off the board. Ford Maxim Shushko.
Maxim Shushkov is Sushkov. I think Maxim is just Maxim, but might be Maksim. How did you have it spelled, Curtis? Or you typed it in already?
Yeah, he's got a couple different on Elite Prospects. Maxim and then Maxim as well. This is
Yeah, I think the way that Nathan typed it in is the anglicized way, I think, when he comes over. So Philadelphia Flyers forward prospect, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Which takes us to the Caymans and Matt Gunn, who has texted me a couple picks in case he wasn't at the phone or at Telegram at that time. So he wants Andy Walensky of the Anaheim Ducks / San Diego Gulls. So Andy Walensky, which takes us to the Spitfires and Andrea drafting on behalf of the Spitfires on Telegram.
Thanks for unmuting that at least.
Well played. We're taking Mark Friedman, defenseman. Mark Friedman is off the board. He's a Philadelphia Flyers, Lehigh Valley Phantoms. He's up with the Flyers right now. They're kind of rotating their sixth defenseman in and out, giving a few guys a look. But Mark Friedman of the Philadelphia system is now a member of the Spitfires, which takes us to the Shamrocks, who are an auto drafter. And they will take Ethan Prow of the Syracuse Crunch. Ethan Prow. And I'll just double check that the Shamrocks still have D spots available. As we get further into the draft, we'll just have to keep checking every now and then to make sure everybody's still available. But I believe these early franchises shouldn't be too full yet. Yeah, they're good. So onward we go, and we're back to the Bandits, which is Rob Love picking on behalf of Dan Tinsman.
Yep. We would like to go with Christopher Wilkie, Colorado College.
Is he still in college, or has he got a pro contract?
He's a pro contract now.
Okay, yeah, good job. Christopher Wilkie, Colorado College. Who did he sign with, Rob? Do you know?
He signed with Rockford.
Okay, yeah, he's got an AHL Rockford deal. Right on. Is he forward or defense? He's forward?
Forward.
Okay, he's one that I'm not overly familiar with. The guys that are going to trip me up are the college guys, just so everybody knows. The guys who kind of bloomed in their second, third year of college and may not have been on the NHL draft radar in their draft year are the ones that are going to be unfamiliar to me. So I'll have to learn up on Christopher Wilkie. I'm sure he's a good player because I know Rob knows his stuff, but he's a newer name for me. The Eliminators, who's Luke Schonwise, who's auto drafting, and they will take Cody Franson, a popular household name from the Rockford Ice Hogs, formerly Toronto Maple Leafs, Nashville Predators. Cody Franson, defenseman, to the Eliminators, which puts Ian the Constable and the Mustangs / Stallions back on the clock.
The Mustangs will take Nicholas Hansen, defenseman. He's playing in the SHL right now. Dallas Stars.
And a Dallas defense prospect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good.
It's Niklas, yeah.
Yeah. And that'll take us to the Titans with Jacob Cambridge.
Was that off the board, Ian, or is it on the list? Sorry.
I'm guessing that'll be off the board as a Euro, but let me see here.
Can you type it in, please, Ian?
You bet, sorry.
No problem.
And then we'll carry on with the Titans, who will select Colton White, defenseman for the New Jersey Devils, Binghamton Devils. So Colton White to the Titans. The Warriors are an auto draft franchise, so we will go with the other New Jersey Devils, Binghamton Devils defenseman, who's a tweener in Josh Jacobs. And then we're back to the Puck Pirates, and they can take Austin Sautner of the Vancouver Canucks Utica Comets. Austin Sautner, former Edmonton Oil King, I believe, back in his junior days. There we go, Nicholas Hansen. And then Puck Pirates selected Austin Sautner, or Ashton Sautner, sorry. And the Noblemen, again, just seeing what they need or where they're at. They have room for a little bit of everything, so we'll just give them a defenseman again. We'll give them Dylan Simpson of the Cleveland Monsters in the Columbus Blue Jackets system. And that puts Jordan Shedletsky and West Coast back on the clock.
Alrighty. From the Iowa Wild system, we're happy to select forward Mason Shaw.
Mason Shaw, nice pick there. Former Medicine Hat Tiger, high-scoring junior guy that blew out his knee as a rookie pro and has rehabilitated and is a guy to watch out for. He's undersized, but he's very solid for his size. He's a thick kid and guy who can put up a lot of points going forward as a pro, I believe. Dawn Patrol, which is Brian Hernandez, who has been picking, likely Telegram. Brian has selected Sam Militek, or Militic. I believe he's in the Hershey Bears system. He's been a pro forward for a number of years. Sam Militek, which takes us to the Schooners, who are auto drafting. They will take Cal O'Reilly from the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. And that will put George and the Mighty Mallards on the board.
The Mallards are proud to select Jonas Ronberg.
And Ronberg, I believe, is spelled R-J-O-N-B-E-R-G.
R-O-N-D-J, I believe.
Oh, okay, yeah, R-O-N-D-J. Okay, yeah, I knew there was a J in there somewhere. There we go. Enforcers and Paul is on the board. You're up, Paul.
Sorry. Enforcers are selecting Adam Masherin.
Adam Masherin, junior. I believe he was in the Dallas Stars system or drafted by Dallas, and I want to say unsigned in Florida.
He's on your list too, so he's not off the board.
Nope. Yeah. No. He's a pro for sure. Nice pick. And that puts Rob Love back up as the Dust Devils.
I'd like to take Cole Koski.
Cole Koski, forward. Where did Cole end up signing? I know he's another one of those guys who put up a lot of points in junior and signed as a free agent.
No, he got drafted by the Islanders, signed with the Islanders.
Oh, he's drafted? Okay, good job. He's an OHL guy though, right?
Yeah, 2018 draft.
Right,
Late round, or 2019, 7th round.
Right, there we go.
Is he off the board, Rob?
Yeah, he's not in any sheets or on Fantrax or anything.
What's the spelling of his name?
His last name Cole is just C-O-L-E, and then the last name is C-O-S-K-E-Y.
C-O-S.
He should be on the list.
He's available.
He was on the draft list.
Oh, his last name's E-Y at the end.
Yeah, he's available. There's a couple of guys that are on the current list right now in the AHL sheet that are actually unavailable, but I'm not going to say who.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I don't want to say it with 100% certainty. I'm like 95% certain.
Right. So if somebody picks them, just mention it, and then we'll review the pick.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So Glacier Cats are up, which is Cameron, but Cameron hasn't been picking, so I'm guessing he got called to work. The Glacier Cats can take Brett Sutter of the Ontario Reign, one of the family tree of the Sutter family. They're still producing more. The next generation's making their way into pro now. So Brett's been a pro for quite a few years, but solid pro nonetheless, which takes us to Chris Jacobine and the Black Widows.
The Black Widows select Joe Snively or Snively from the Hershey Bears.
Perfect. Yeah, I think it's Snively. I'm not sure how you say that name, but I know who you're talking about for sure. Yeah, there we go, Joe Snively. And he's for the Black Widows.
Yep.
And then the Rapids are selecting. Sorry guys, I just have to double check that their positions aren't full, because the teams that have a lot of keepers, they don't have much left for draft picks. So, for example, these guys are all out of defensemen. They need goalies, so we'll give them. Let's give them a goalie with J.F. Berube, or Jean-Francois Berube, now of the Ontario Reign. So J.F. Berube to the Rapids. Sorry. So there we go. And then the Samurai, which again, we'll see where they're at. They got room for a couple D and a few forwards. We'll give them another forward here. They can take, let's give them Curtis Gabriel, now with San Jose Sharks, San Jose Barracuda. Curtis Gabriel. And then that puts up Jesse Gill to close out round 4. So, Jesse, you're back on the clock with the Truculent Owls.
I'll take Ryan Johansson's little brother, Lucas Johansson, Hershey Bears, Washington Capital player.
There's the other first rounder that I was teasing on the UFAHL group chat that I seen. There was another first round pick out there besides Logan Stanley. It is Lucas Johansson, who missed most of last season with injury, but apparently looked really good at Washington's camp. And he may get some games this year. They're going to try and give him a look before he's no longer waiver eligible, or waiver exempt. So Lucas Johansson closes out the 4th round, which takes us to the Desperados and Nick Utley to start the 5th round.
Jesse, you stole my pick. We're going off the board with Kirill Slepets from the KHL. I can't type it in for some reason.
I can type it in here probably, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
The Boston Bruins forward, I believe, right? I'll double check.
I believe he's Carolina system.
Oh, right. Drafted by Carolina, yeah. Boston took the other guy on that line from the Russian World Junior team in 2019, but I won't say his name because he's still available.
What was the name there, Larry? Sorry.
Kirill Slepets.
Oh, yep. See it.
Yeah. Sorry, I put it into the chat just to show who he was, but yeah, you can clear him from the list.
Perfect.
Or he might have been off the board, I think. So, which takes us to the run of auto drafters, and my tweener list is starting to run out here, but we'll fill them up one more round anyway. So starting with the Thunderstorm. The Thunderstorm can take Adam Cracknell, who's back in the AHL in the Edmonton Oilers Bakersfield Condor system. He played overseas last season, but Adam Cracknell. And then Strong Island can take Logan Shaw, who is now, he's bounced around a bit, Florida, Winnipeg. He's now in Ottawa/Belleville. Logan Shaw forward for Strong Island. And the Stingrays, who requested defense, will get Tyler Lewington of the Nashville Predators, formerly in Washington, but Tyler Lewington. Blades of Steel can get CJ Smith of the Rochester Americans. CJ Smith. And the Mystics, to close out the run of auto drafters, can have Tyler Graovic of the Vancouver Canucks Manitoba Moose. Tyler Graovic. Graovac. And that takes us to Alex and the Thunderbirds in the 5th round.
No pressure, eh? With the 5 picks in a row going in 20 seconds. Okay. We were kind of thinking goalie. I like Christopher Gibson of the Tampa Bay organization.
Christopher Gibson, who's actually, I believe, backing up Vasilevsky right now with Curtis McElhinney hurt at the moment.
Wouldn't mind a couple games there. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. Red Army, another auto drafter, will take, I believe they need goalies on the farm too. Let me just double check. They probably still need everything, but we'll give them, if they need a goalie, I'll give them one too. Yeah, their goalies are empty, so we'll go with Antoine Bebeau. Yeah, Red Army will select Antoine Bebeau, who is now with the Chicago Wolves. So he's off the board, and you had selected Christopher Gibson, which takes us to the Yetis and Colin Mills.
I have no idea how to pronounce his name, but I put it in the chat. Halbuak.
Let's see here. I don't have the chat open.
Hobwalks, yeah.
Oh, he's owned. Jaden Halbawatz, he's owned.
Oh, is he? I thought
he should be on a protected list.
checked and didn't see him anywhere.
Let's see.
Okay, we'll go Hamburger then. Andrew Hammond, if not.
Andrew Hammond? Yeah, I'm 100% sure that Jaden's owned. I just don't know who has him.
By the Warriors.
By the Warriors? Hey, perfect, yeah. I think he was actually in the already drafted auction going back in time, but one of the prospects we added in there. So Andrew Hammond is now a member of the the Yetis, UFAHL affiliate, just getting back to the right screen here. And that puts the commissioner, Curtis Johnson, and the corporals back on the clock. Nikolai Goldobin, former San Jose Shark, Vancouver Canuck, believe he's playing in the KHL this season, but certainly a guy who's got the talent to make a return to North America. And If not, he'll have good value when the KHL league starts up. That takes us to the Caymans, and Matt Gunn, who has texted me a little running list here. He will take, I think some of these guys are owned. Cam Dineen, I think, is the next player on his list that's not owned. Defenseman for Arizona. Colin, since you're the farm owned Cam Morrison, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. I was 99% sure you had him, but he had him right above Cam Dineen, and I'm sure he was gone. So Cam Dineen is now a member of the Caymans, which takes us to the Spitfires. And Andrea on Telegram. And Andrea's following along very closely. As soon as she's up, she's always typing, so that's good to see. And she will take Dmitry Semikin. And I should know whose NHL rights have him, but I'll type him in. I have elite prospects here.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, yeah, he's a Tampa prospect, right? Defenseman. Which takes us to the Shamrocks, who are auto drafting. Just gonna again double check that they need everything here. Shamrocks. They need D, it looks like, so we'll give them. The Shamrocks select Seth Helgeson of the Bridgeport Sound Tigers, New York Islanders. Seth Helgeson. I believe he was in New Jersey before he was with the Islanders. Takes us to the Bandits and Rob Love on behalf of Dan Tinsman.
Yeah, he's going to take Tyler Sheehy of the Allen Americans in the ECHL. Used to be the captain of Minnesota.
Right, yeah. Good pick. That one, he should be on the list, I think. Hey, yeah, there he is. Yeah, Tyler Sheehy. Takes us to the Eliminators. The Eliminators will select Tommy Cross from the Syracuse Crunch. Defenseman. Which puts the Mustangs back on the clock with Ian Constable.
Hold on, Larry. Eliminators are full on defense.
Oh, sorry. Good catch. That's why I should be checking those every time. Let's, where are we here with the Eliminators? They need both forwards and goalies, I assume, then?
Yeah.
Okay. The Eliminators, good catch. They will take Landon Bow, goalie for the Texas Stars. And from there, we will go to Jacob Cambridge. Let's see if Jacob needs a goalie as well.
No, I haven't picked yet. The Mustangs have not picked.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, Ian.
No problem. Mustangs will take Ola Alsing, defenseman from Ottawa.
Ole Alsing. How do you spell that last name?
Alsing. He is on the available list.
Yeah, gotcha. I remember who we're talking about. So we are on to the Titans. I'm just checking, cross-referencing rosters, make sure they need what I'm picking for them. Sure, they need one more goalie. I'll give them Philip Desrosiers, goaltender Philip Desrosiers. Florida Panthers, Syracuse Crunch, former junior standout Philippe Desrosiers. Which takes us, after Titans are the Warriors. The Warriors need, what I might do is open up a second window here with this grid, and then I can just bounce back and forth. Warriors need lots of forwards, so that's easy. They will take Joe Gambardella of the Edmonton Oilers, Bakersfield Condors. Joe Gambardella.
Hey, Larry, I got a question for you.
Shoot.
You got if you list my team in this AHL sheet as having 3 goalies already. If I don't believe that any of these guys will ever play on my AHL team, do I have to be not able to pick a goalie?
Yes. We finalized those keepers. Which guy are you questioning?
I would like
Where
to,
are we for
the Dust Devils? You have Kivlenek, Swayman, and Comrie. I'd like to not qualify, or I'd like to not have Comrie on this list because I will not put him in the AHL anymore.
Unfortunately, we can't do that just because the only guys that we took off the list were guys that have dressed every NHL game this season.
Okay.
So if he hasn't dressed every NHL game, we've considered him. But tomorrow's draft, whatever spots you have open tomorrow, you can draft any position.
Okay.
So for day one draft, you can only fill the white boxes that weren't considered keepers. And the only guys that were not considered AHL eligible were the guys that dressed every game this year in the NHL.
Got it.
So there are quite a few guys on here in black that are currently in the NHL or may not play in the AHL, but they're going to be AHL eligible according to the draft rules.
Okay.
So we are at the Puck Pirates, and the Puck Pirates will take, where are they over here? Sorry, I'm just bouncing back and forth between the two screens here to make sure. They have no goalies, so we may as well give them a goalie. And we can give them Casimir Kaskisuo, former Leafs prospect, now in Nashville. Casimir Kaskisuo is off the board to the Puck Pirates, which takes us to the Noblemen, who's Arnie. Arnie needs defense and lots of forwards. We'll give Arnie a forward. We'll give Arnie Max McCormick of the Chicago Wolves. So Max McCormick is off the board to the Noblemen, which puts Jordan Shedletsky and West Coast / Mintors on the clock.
Okay, we'll be going off the board with this pick. We're taking goalie Arvid Holm from the SHL.
Arvid Holm. Just making sure he's of age, and I'm sure he is. Yeah, he's 1998 already, so he's good to go. Spelling, did you type it into the chat?
Yep, it's in there.
Okay, oh, he's in the list. Okay, good stuff. I got a few different windows going here. So that takes us to Don Patrol and Brian Hernandez, who has been picking on Telegram. Brian is typing, so he's on the ball. He's ready to go. Jack Kopaka, who was just traded from San Diego to San Jose in that Trevor Carrick trade. So the Carrick brothers are together now in San Diego with Sam and Trevor Carrick, and Jack Kopaka went the other way up to the San Jose Barracuda, but forward for San Jose now. Which takes us to the Schooners, who are auto-drafting, and they will take Brandon Baddock of the Laval Rocket, a bruiser, former Edmonton Oil King, one of the tougher guys in the Western League when he was there, but Brandon Baddock to the Schooners, which puts George and the Mighty Mallards on the board, or on the clock.
We would like to select David Cotton.
David Cotton, I believe Carolina Hurricanes, forward.
I think he's owned by a scout.
Is he? Okay, let's double check here. I was kind of thinking that too, that he might be owned.
By Easton.
Yeah. Yeah, good call, Rob. I was just thinking that he might have been owned. So, George, you can go again.
Hang on a second.
You can draft scout-owned players, though, right?
Oh, right. Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
leasing him, right? Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's a good pick.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
That was my understanding, but
Yeah.
if,
No,
if
you're
he's
correct.
good, if he's good, I want him.
Yeah, you got him. Sorry about that. I've mistaken scout owned for franchise owned. Yeah. So onward we go. I'm just getting back to the draft window. David Cotton. I believe that's our first leased player. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there was no leased players in the first 4 rounds, which takes us to Paul and the Enforcers.
Enforcers select Jack Kopaka, forward.
Oh,
Ottawa.
he just went 2 picks earlier.
Oh, sorry, missed that.
No worries.
Good God, we're too busy talking amongst ourselves.
All good.
And that nice pick for the Dawn Patrol. Okay, just 1 second then here, Larry. Hold
Yeah,
on.
no worries.
All right, our second choice here then is Ty Falhaber.
Ty Felhaber. Last name is F.Y.
Is that off the
that'll-
board, Larry?
He shouldn't be. Let's see here.
Should be on your thing. F-E-L, I think. H-A-B-E-R.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry, not F.Y.
Not
I lied.
F-Y.
His first name is T-Y-E. Yeah.
T-Y-E. Sorry, his first name. He should be on your list.
Yeah, we got him. And Rob, it's back to you with the Dust Devils.
Okay, this is my last forward slot choice, and after this pick, I'd like to go auto draft. I would like to choose Samuel Asselin from the Bruins.
Okay, perfect.
And then also for the Bandits, put him on auto draft as well.
The Bandits, okay, yeah, no worries. Thanks for attending the first 5 rounds, Rob. Appreciate it.
Yep.
And for helping out Dan, he owes you one.
We'll see.
We'll see. Right on. So now we're on to Glacier Cats. I believe Cameron still hasn't made it back. So we will give them, let's make sure positions aren't full.
1D or forwards.
1D or forward, okay. We'll give them Jacob Mania of the San Jose Barracuda. And Jacob is Jaycob. And Black Widows, Chris Jacobine is on the clock.
All right. Excuse me 1 moment here. Just 1 sec. The Black Widows will select Logan O'Connor from Colorado.
Logan O'Connor. He is a lease player, but he is available, obviously, as a scout-owned player.
I'm sorry if he's a lease player. Are you sure he's a lease player? I'm seeing him as being unowned.
Let's see. I'm pretty certain.
I see him as unowned on there too, but I know Spitfire Scouting has him.
Oh, so he should be leased. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be leased. Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I am going to change my pick if that's all right.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm going to take, and again, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, Mikey Isamont from Ontario.
Yeah. Los Angeles prospect.
Correct.
Yeah, he's available.
He's not leased, right? You promise?
Nope. Yeah, he's available. I'll double check it, but I'm pretty sure.
All right.
How do you spell that? Sorry?
Scouting, so I know. What's that?
How do you spell that? Sorry.
Mikey is Mikey, and then Isimont is ESS.
No, it's EYSSIM.
EYSS, yeah. Sorry.
That's off the board, I believe. Can you type it in the chat, please?
He's in there. He's just first name's Michael.
Yeah.
Oh, good call.
Oh, his name's just different there. Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Good call, Jesse. Let's get back here. So Rapids are an auto pick, and Rapids need. Got the second window going here now, so I can easily see where they're at. lots of forwards. So the Rapids can take, let's give them a tough guy, Rich Clune of the Toronto Marlies. Rich Clune goes to the Rapids. Which takes us to the Samurai. And the Samurai needs a couple forwards, couple D. So the Samurai can take Cameron Schilling of the Washington Capitals Hershey Bears. Cameron Schilling. And that puts Jesse Gill and the Truculent Owls back on the clock to close out the 5th round.
I'll pick from the Stockton Heat Calgary Flames prospect forward E2 to Lola. I'll type that in too.
I got her. You're good.
You got her? Yeah.
Big power forward, goal scoring forward there for potential for Calgary. Where are we here? So that takes us to the top of the 6th round and Nick Utley with the Desperados.
We'll go with another Sutter and go with the young one, Riley Sutter. He was at Everett, and he's now, I'm not sure what system he's in, but he's I know he's signed.
Yeah, him and Connor Dewar were back-to-back picks as line mates that year in the NHL draft. End of the 3rd round, they both went back-to-back. That takes us to the run of auto picks. So let's see, Thunderstorm. If these guys need goalies, I might pound out a couple goalies because I don't think I've picked any goalies for this group yet.
They all need goalies, yeah.
They all need goalies. Okay, this will be easy. So for the Thunderstorm, we'll give them Spencer Martin of the Syracuse Crunch. For Strong Island, they get Shane Starrett of the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins.
Sorry, one sec, Larry. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, can you say that last one again? Sorry.
Shane Starrett.
Okay.
Shane, S-T-A-R. Yeah, you got her. And then the Stingrays still want a defenseman. Ben Harper of the Nashville Predators, Chicago Wolves. Former Ottawa Senator and short-lived Toronto Maple Leaf. Blades of Steel, Mike Bender will take a goalie, Brad Thiessen of the Cleveland Monsters, Columbus Blue Jackets. The Mystics will go with a Euro Pro guy in Pontus Aberg, former AHL, NHL guy, but now in the KHL, Pontus Aberg. Which will take us to Alex and the Thunderbirds.
Well, I got to say it's a good thing I went goalie last round because that might have been devastating. With that being said, the Thunderbirds are happy to select Nikita Sherbak of the Texas Stars.
Nikita Sherbak, who has bounced around a bit, another former first-round pick of the Montreal Canadiens, I believe, back in the day, but hasn't quite made it, but certainly one of the more talented guys at the junior level. Red Army probably would have liked Nikita Sherbak, but we'll give Red Army, where am I at here in my list? We'll give Red Army Zane McIntyre, who's currently in the KHL as a goalie, but obviously he's played lots in the American League. So Zane McIntyre is off the board.
You probably know what color gear he wears too, Larry?
He wore Boston gear for a long time because he was a Bruins guy, so yellow and black for a lot of years. I don't know what he's wearing in the KHL. The Yetis are going to go auto draft the rest of the way. So I'm going to give the Yetis TJ Brennan, another defenseman who's been one of the AHL standouts. This year he's playing in Switzerland, but likely find his way back, TJ Brennan. Which takes us to the Corporals and the Commissioner, Curtis Johnson.
Thomas Gregard. D.
Thomas Gregard. Okay, let me just double check here one thing. Let me get this. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, sorry guys. This takes us to Matt Gunn, who was texting me a list. Somebody asked, Xavier asked, do we know why Maylette and Safin are filled in or highlighted? Let's see. I'm assuming they were picked. I remember them being picked, but are they a different color or something? No, they're white. I don't know. Must be maybe talking on the roster page. It was Xavier on Telegram asked that. But looking for Matt Gunn's list here. He will take Lucas Jasic of the Vancouver Canucks Utica Comets. Lucas Jasic for the Caymans. And that'll put Andrea back on the clock for the Spitfires. Andrea is selecting goaltender Jeremy Helvig. I believe he's in Carolina's system. For the Spitfires at 167 will be Jeremy Helvig. That takes us to the Shamrocks, who are one of our auto drafters, and they will take Bo Bennett, who has yet to sign this year, but Bo Bennett, or he may be actually playing in Europe this year, I believe. Nope, he's still unsigned for this season, so he could surface in the AHL, but Bo Bennett.
Of note, he didn't respond to my DMs on Twitter if he was signing a contract anywhere.
Oh, did you ask? Yeah. Nice. That's funny. Where are we here? We're back on this screen. So now the Bandits as well as the Dust Devils are both going to be auto draft from here on out for Rob Love. So the Bandits will select, we'll go with Jacob Cederholm, defenseman. Jacob Cederholm, I believe he's a Winnipeg Jets prospect. The Eliminators, also an auto drafter, can take, we'll go with Connor Bleakley, forward. There are a few first-round picks out there. Connor Bleakley obviously hasn't amounted to much as a first-round pick. He was a first-round pick that went unsigned and was redrafted, I believe, in the 4th round or something. But a guy who was a good junior player in the WHL, Connor Bleakley, which takes us to Ian Constable and the Mustangs.
The Mustangs will go off the board with forward Marcus Nurmi. He's playing in TPS in the Liga. I will type it in for you.
Sounds good. Thanks. I know who he is, but yeah, definitely type in the name so Nathan has the proper spelling, because I think his last name is Nurmi, but yeah. Which takes us to the Titans. And the Titans will take Will Bitton. I believe he's in Minnesota's system still, but Will Bitton as a guy who is a talented forward prospect coming up for the Titans. The Warriors can take, there is one guy I see on the list, Johnny Brodzinski. He is a franchise player, so nobody draft Johnny Brodzinski. The Warriors will take defenseman Logan Day. Which takes us to the Puck Pirates, who are also, where am I here? Just want to make sure I'm getting positionally. We'll need some forwards, so we'll go with, for Puck Pirates, Sean Boudrais, Boudrais, Sean, with SHAWN. The Noblemen.
Can you say that again, Larry? Sorry.
Sean Boudrais, so it's SHAWN, and his last name is BOUDRAIS.
Got it. Thanks.
Got it. And the Noblemen will take defenseman Tori Dello. Just making sure the Noblemen need a defenseman because I see they have lots of. Yeah, they got room for another D. Keep her moving. I just grab the first name that catches my eyes for these guys, but that'll put Jordan back on the clock with West Coast.
Okay, I'll close out my goalies since those seem to be going quickly now with Adam Huska from the Wolfpack.
Yeah, New York Rangers goaltender. Good, nice pick. That takes us to Dawn Patrol, and that will be, I know Xavier's been on the Telegram chat as well as I believe Brian Hernandez is there. Brian is typing, so we know he's here. I got a few more windows open here now, so my system for auto drafting should hopefully speed up a little bit.